How's it going, y'all? Bluegrass Sports Media here, and today we're going to talk a little college basketball on the channel. Last night, my Kentucky Wildcats played the Alabama Crimson Tide for the top spot in the SEC and went and got absolutely their doors blown off at Rupp Arena last night. Alabama beats Kentucky 85 to 65, 20-point victory for Alabama. You know, looking over and having 24 hours to digest what happened last night, it really comes down to just not being cohesive as a team and shooting the ball very poorly. I don't know if shooting the ball very poorly is a product of us not being very good at shooting the basketball, or it's just we're in a shooting slump that's been in the past all season. You know, bringing in guys like Brandon Boston, Terrence Clark, and Davion Mintz, I thought three-point shooting was going to be one of our strengths this year, but all these five-star freshmen have really came in and underperformed, especially B.J. Boston, Devin Askew. Terrence Clark's really been hurt. Brandon Boston has 1 point at halftime. That's completely unacceptable, and I don't understand why he got as much playing time as he did. I guess I do kind of understand why he got as much playing time, because of the fact he's a five-star kid. He's a five-star kid, meaning that recruiting-wise, if you don't give five-star kids the opportunity, and recruiting is the lifeblood of college basketball, guys. If you don't give these five-star kids the opportunity to grow and catch up with the pace of college basketball, then it's really going to hurt you in the recruiting trail, because a lot of the other five-star kids that are coming in next year are going to look at this and say, well, if I struggle, is he going to bench me? So that's why I think they're giving these guys so much of a long leash, from the Brandon Bostons to the Devin Askews. But we have better players on the bench, I think. You know, Brandon Boston's going to be a great player one day, probably, for us. Devin Askew's going to be a great player for us one day. But we have better players on the bench that are better right now. I think Dante Allen, I think Isaiah Jackson are two players that should be in the starting lineup, in my opinion. I'm not sure why they are not. I guess maybe the thought process behind that might be that Coach Cal's trying to get Askew and Boston ready for the tournament in March. But if we don't make some changes and become a better basketball team and more cohesive as a unit, then we're not going to make it to March. As far as the Alabama game goes, you know, we really got lit up by two players. Our backcourt got eat up by Jaden Shackelford and John Petty. They combined for a total of 41 points. I thought our advantage was going to be on the inside and the interior with Isaiah Jackson and Sarr, but they really set that down with a 2-3 zone and forced us to shoot outside shots, which we are very bad at. Shooting 4 for 18. Kentucky shot last night from 3. Shooting 34% from the field. Not a very good, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say a terrible offensive performance from Kentucky. And it all comes down to cohesion. You know, having 7 total assists is never acceptable in a basketball game at the University of Kentucky. We had 7 total assists. Our leading person in assists had 2 assists, and that was Devin Askew. Devin Askew actually showed up last night and came and played a decent game, hitting his first 3 shots and scoring 12 points. You know, the biggest question on a lot of Kentucky fans' minds right now is what's going on with B.J. Boston. A lot of Kentucky fans are done with B.J. Boston. They want B.J. Boston to never play a minute. He doesn't really try on the defensive end of the court. He's kind of selfish on the offensive end of the court, throwing up 4 shots. But, I mean, you got to give him time to grow. And back to my argument earlier, if we bench him now, it's really going to hurt us in the future in recruiting. It's really going to hurt us in the future in recruiting. So we cannot afford to bench B.J. Boston right now. I would really love to hear everyone else's thoughts down in the comments below. I really appreciate all the interaction we've had on this channel so far. Go Big Blue and have a great day, guys.